Hi there, and welcome to the call to cinema in a very, very different way. I am in a different room. I'm actually in the master bedroom right here. I don't have my hat on right yet, which I'm going to grab in a second while I'm waiting for you guys to come in. But we are talking about 4K collecting and why it's going to be so important in the near future. What do you think of this location? It's kind of neat, huh? It's kind of different. We're uh, we're kind of doing something a bit different. There, I was just actually speaking to my mom. No, kitty, 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 kitty. You can't. The one thing you can't do. No, 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 no. So we're everything here. Hey there, Indy. Hey there, Jesse. I'm just gonna grab my hat because I feel naked without my hat. My kitty cat is here. I'm kind of nervous moving because it's at her level where she can literally go in there. Da, 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 da. It's too early. I am sorry, but here's the thing, Jesse. It's. I'm in Morocco now. Sometimes it's gonna be early. Sometimes it's gonna be late at night. Um, I'm adjusting. Let's just see if I can get my better half to get me my hat. She can toss it up. The neat thing about this room, so that's the TV. It was written initially downstairs, so it's like a 55-inch Samsung TV that we have kind of mounted on the wall here, and it's great for watching movies and just like that's where I watched Clerks 3 and I watched Bodies there. Good time. You just ran 8 a.m. Okay, so what we're gonna do? Then let me put on a. I feel so naked without my hat. I just like got out of the shower, like probably around 10 minutes ago, long enough to go to the store and come back, have a cup of coffee, as you can probably tell. Well, what we're talking about today is collecting, and not just collecting, but 4K collecting. There was a big announcement from Screen Factory. At least I think this was a big announcement, and they announced that Slumber Party Massacre 1 and 2 are coming as a double feature to 4K in February. Clerks 3 is really good. I kind of didn't expect it to be indie. I kind of expected it to be kind of meh. But Clerks 3 hit me in the, as my kids would say back in the day, hit me in the feels. If you've seen Clerks, if you like Clerks, and you like those characters, Dante and Randall, yeah, it's gonna make you feel stuff. It's gonna make you feel things. I'm gonna warn you that. Um, damn, let me get my hat. Right back. Well, all right. So I'm gonna open up this here so I can see your messages. But first, before I go into the whole 4K thing, uh, well, actually, as part of the 4K thing, let's throw some numbers at you guys. And I did a little bit of research last night to check this out. When Screen Factory started doing 4K, well, Screen Factory, not Chip Factory, Screen Factory. As far as I could tell, there was around in 2021. So for Screen Factory, there were 8 4Ks that were put out for Screen Factory themselves. In 2022, Screen Factory has put out 27 4Ks in as part of their big like launch towards 4K. And one of those 27 was a 4K box set, which was the latter Halloween films. So really, that's really 34Ks that they put out. That's over 3 times of what they put out the year before. Vinegar Syndrome started their 4Ks in 2019 with Tammy and the T-Rex. That was it. That was the only 4K that came out in 2019. In 2020, they came out with 3 4Ks. That was, of course, was Rad, Deadly Games, and Beastmaster. And Beastmaster started the VSU era. So basically, another sub-label dedicated to doing 4K releases. In 2021, that had increased from 3 to 9 4Ks. And one of those 9, again, was a box set, Scanners Cop and Scanners Cop 2, which kind of brings it to really 10 4Ks. And out of that, there was kind of like four, I guess, would you consider regular 4Ks, and other ones were like kind of like sub-label or special 4Ks, including the first, adult rated 4K. In 2022, Scream Factory put out 15 4Ks. And where the big difference is, where the big change in that is, aside from the fact that it's almost double, is that it is over double when you realize that over 9 of those 4Ks are regular within the regular packages. So they're not something that were done special. They weren't VSUs, they weren't VSPs. They were regular releases because Scream Factory was leaning more towards 4K, and they tend to be doing more so in the future. And Seven themselves has done a lot of. I don't like the hat now. Of doing a lot of 4Ks as well. So now that we hit those numbers on you, let's actually get into looking at some of the announcements, some of the releases, and some of my thoughts. And by the way, I want to thank everybody that tuned in and watched my short wrestling video that I did yesterday. I was blown away by the fact that so many people watched it, and I want to thank you. I really do. I was like, there was so much. Not wasn't just like the amount of people that watched it. There was the amount of response that the video got, because the video got like a ton of response. And one of the big things when you're on YouTube, one of the things that a lot of people don't mention, they'll say like, share, subscribe, that type of thing. I do that, do that now if you want. But I'd much appreciate it. But the thing is that the idea of like going forward and having like talking about stuff is really like basically commenting. That means a lot on a channel. That's commenting on a channel. Like the likes are good and they always help. And that's how you get to see my channel. If you're if you're not subscribed, or say you're not like don't have the bell notification rung, but like the comments and the likes, that makes it go up a bit in the YouTube algorithm. So more people will have seen or have heard about my wrestling video than the same like 400 or so people that may have watched my one of my vinegar syndrome videos, which is kind of crazy, but that's the way the algorithm works. I'm slowly figuring it out, guys. Yeah, comments are big, and like there's been like I get normally just a couple comments or get some likes on videos, but I had like over 17 comments the last time I looked on that wrestling video, which was really good. And everybody was, some people argued, respectfully among each other, but which is what you want to see. What we also want to see is, let's look at Screen Factory. Let's look what they're doing now. The one company that we have to really talk about when we're looking at 4K releases is the company that really pioneered going into 4K. And I think we can't talk about that without talking about Bill Lustig. So Bill Lustig is the guy that directed movies like Maniac Cop and Maniac and stuff like that. A lot of cool stuff, but he like owns a company called Blue Underground, which all you guys know, you collect from there. But when 4K started to become a thing, Bill Lustig said, you know what? I'm taking Blue Underground, and 4K is going to be the future of this company. He was in right there on the cusp, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's going to put out everything in 4K again. Maybe it's not such a good idea." But it turned out to be a freaking fantastic idea, because now there's a bunch of companies that are kind of playing catch up. That are working on doing like more and more 4K releases. Scream Factory, Vinegar Syndrome, Severin, Kino, all those companies are doing are doing their 4K releases. I know, Kirstie Alley, sad like Runaway with Tom Selleck, Summer School. Of course, one of my favorites, Blind Date, by Nika Masarakis, and the one that I mentioned that not enough people mention is she was Saavik. She was in Star Trek. My better half, we had this kind of like disagreement. I said, well, Kirstie Alley from Star Trek, and she was like, nobody's going to remember that Kirstie Alley was in Star Trek. I remember that Kirstie Alley was in Star Trek. By the way, I need to get the 4K of the new Top Gun movie. I got the 4K of the original, and I heard Maverick's really good, and I haven't seen it yet because I want to watch the 4K. So I'm all in on this 4K thing too. Yeah, he did great at Anchor Bay, but Anchor Bay kind of changed up, and I think it was probably around the Stars acquisition Frank Bay, or just probably before that he went over. I'm glad that he did his kind of did his own thing. Yeah, perfect. There you go. Star Trek 2. I'm going to take a picture of this and send this to my better half. I'm not even joking. I'm doing it then. Because because I'm petty like that. I did not get a good picture. Here we go. Uh, uh. Isn't this weird? But let's dive into some stuff the Scream Factory is doing right now because a lot of it is actually really exciting. I'm very excited about the having parts 1 and 2. Now, people asked, well, why didn't they do part 3 for why did they do part 3 for Summer Party Massacre? I actually really like part 3, but that being said, a lot of people didn't. So, but parts 1 and 2, um, hey, Gleaming, welcome, man. You did. They it's really cool, and not only that, but this is the thing. This is the thing that kills me. I bought the DVD trilogy of Slumber Party Massacre. I bought the Blu-ray for Slumber Party Massacre 2 and 3, not for part 1. I don't have part 1 on Blu-ray, and now part it's coming out on 4K. Am I going to buy this again? Most likely, and the biggest one of the biggest reasons, and I'm going to get into it right here, is not just that it's coming out on 4K, not just that I think that is freaking awesome, but I love the fact that it's going to be in that's US and Canada, by the way. But this, let's go right here. 2 exclusive 18 by 24 rolled posters. Freaky is really good. I agree with that, man. Featuring the original theatrical artwork for each film. So each film had like a very cool artwork. Summer Party Massacre, Summer Party Massacre 2. These are like the art is kind of what if you went to the video stores, you saw these posters. These were posters that were up in a lot of videos. It makes me look younger. Well, thank you. It was by accident. I was trimming my beard, cleaning, and I nicked the part right here. So I had to like put it down thinner. But I actually, I might keep it like that. Thank you. I actually appreciate that. Mm. So you're going to get 2 posters. So it's only $34.99, which is not a bad price. And the original artwork. So I love when they put like new artwork on there, but for these here, these are classics. These are the posters you would see back in your video stores in the day. Summer Party Massacre 2 poster was up in almost every video store that I ever saw. Same as Summer Party Massacre. These were the posters that I grew up on. These were the ones that were out in the shops, the ones that I looked at, and I knew I had to watch these films. And I hope that next up is the Sorority House Massacre films, especially like 2 and 3, Sorority House Massacre 2 and Hard to Die, because I really like Hard to Die. I like the Orville Ketchum ones, but I like to have 3 of them on there. Now, they may eventually put out Summer Party Massacre 3 on 4K, but there's less of a, there's going to be less of a want for part 3. They're going to see, I guess, what, how it goes, but yeah. So there's not a lot of there's no really new features, but it is new 4K masters of the films here. So we got new 4K from the OCN for both of these films. All the features from before on there. Now, somebody like me that does not have the original Slumber Party Massacre on Blu-ray, there's extra features because some of these features. There's an interview with Riggs Kennedy, the actor that played the killer. Slumber Party 3 does have a cool poster, so hopefully it eventually comes out. But so I don't have this interview, and I hear it's a really kind of cool, quirky little interview. And for this one here, like have like most all the features here, I think. But honestly, I would pay like $25 to $30 to get the posters alone. So that's when you really think about it. Like, hey there, hey, Mr. Evil, welcome. Am I a fan of underground extreme horror? When I was younger, I was more of a fan of the August Underground stuff. I'm a bit wimpier now than than I was then. So I don't really get into the overly gore stuff as much now. But was I a gore hound when I was a kid? Yeah, I was. Yeah, I had Gore Zone magazine. I had the Tom Savini Grand Illusions 1 and 2. I got to meet Tom Savini. Was a really nice guy actually, and back when he was premiering his documentary on his life in Montreal at the Montreal Horror Con. But the posters alone, like these aren't just any posters. These aren't like remake posters. These aren't like read 'em posters. These are the classic posters. And this could have been like 50 odd bucks, like to be honest with you. When they said, well, there's two rolled posters. Now these, and again, there's another thing to put in there. They're not like posters that are folded up. They're freaking rolled posters. So that is exactly how you want your posters to be. Because how many times have you gotten those like posters with the creases where they're folded and you like them, you get them undone and they're big, but you're like, no, I got to get the creases out. But Shout Factory has started doing Scream Factory, doing the rolled posters a few years back, and I big fan of that. I like the poster with the girls on them. Well, you got the you definitely got them in these here. Uh, it's the standard Scream size poster, so 18 to 24. That's a big poster actually. Actually, my better half is better at math. Better at the mathy stuff. You may hear some banging here in a little bit because we're actually having a guy come in to help fix something on the internet. Hopefully, it doesn't take our internet. Whoa! So there we go. I lost you guys for a second. So I do apologize. It went. So you guys, did you notice that I was gone? Are we still working? Yes, we are still working on that. That's a little bit farther in the future, but it's something that we definitely want to do. But uh, but yeah, we're still doing that, and we'll get back to the Screen Factory stuff there in a second now. Um, so everybody's still here. Oh my god, I cannot believe that it went and kind of came like that. Um, so if you're still here, like like put a message there, because those are really cool looking posters. Let's dive in to that stuff again. Do I have to? Yes, I do have to bring the. Got to share the screen again. It's just going to take me a second. Show factory. There we go. And let's look into some of the stuff that they got um, put out there for 4K because there's some really cool stuff. I do apologize for the last. I haven't done one from upstairs before, so that's different for me. So let's dive into. Let's go to Scream Factory, and we'll go back to their stuff. Look at some of their 4K releases that are coming out. So as you can see here, we got a 4K release for Dawn of the Dead, exclusive poster on that one there. A 4K release for Freaky, the underrated kind of like Freaky Friday, um, kind of the slasher version of Freaky Friday comedy. It's really well done. I love Freaky Friday. Like well, this Freaky, I love Freaky Friday anyway. But Scream Factory are going all in on the. I wish they would still do those hard boxes, that slips that they did with the Halloween, but they're not doing those. I noticed they didn't do them with Child's Play. They didn't do those with Alligator when I picked up that one. They used like the regular slip covers, but it was kind of their. It seemed like it was going to be their thing for the 4Ks, but I guess maybe it was cost effective to do them a different way. Like I'm not big into the steelbook collecting, so I don't really like care if they're going to do a steelbook edition or something unless it's like the same price or it's like significantly cheaper. Because for me, if I have the chance to have like a slip where I can actually change the artwork around and have two different types of artwork, that's more my jam. We got Ouija, the original Ouija is coming out on 4K. The second one is way better. Just gotta put that out there. I love the fact of the way they're doing these sets too. Uh, Bubba Hotep, you're right. Bubba Hotep is coming out. I am gonna kick the crap out of this thing. Let's check actually, because Bubba Hotep was announced yesterday too. So Bubba Hotep has 18 by 24 poster featuring the original theatrical artwork. Gleaming, you're going to get the original theatrical artwork for Bubba Hotep. So that's a big plus right there. Like I don't mind the new artwork. I like it sometimes. Like I thought like the Howling artwork was really good when back in the early days of Screen Factory. Like this They Live is cool, but for me, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum and have have the original theatrical artwork. We got Carrie coming out on 4K. Not a fan of the Don Dead art. Let's see. Oh my God, the way this works, man. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have to get the poster for this one. I don't know if there's a slipcover on these. I'm not seeing like for Don. I don't see a slipcover here. It's a collector's edition, so those often do have slipcovers. But Usually, a lot it depends on the artwork. Where like this one here, They Live, that's a steelbook, so it's gonna be done a little bit differently. Let's look at the new and upcoming releases. I think that's the best way to figure this out. So there's the sold out. Of course, that's the figure for Stevie Wayne. And that's the drill. But it has to be done because we're working on some stuff downstairs actually. So if the internet goes, it's not our. It's well, it is our fault. But we got like box trolls here. We got Cubo. I'm frightened till I'm frightened to lose the internet. So hopefully, close the window does not make me lose the internet. We're gonna fingers crossed. I did not know there was a 4K coming of Magnificent Seven, which is one of my favorite westerns of all time. But hell's to the yeah for that. Yeah. Uh, well, downstairs where our internet box is at, when was when it was initially done, basically, it was just kind of left hanging. So the cat just kind of gets at it. And during my live like Black Friday video, the cat literally knocked out the internet. So we're trying to like make sure that we can put it like solid to the wall so that doesn't happen. And the walls here are not like wood; they're totally solid, made out of stone. So you need like kind of a loud drill to get that done. I do apologize, but it does help. Yeah, I didn't know about Magnificent Seven. That's actually pretty cool. There's that is good. I really want that. Like those posters. Like if there's any posters that are Aaron, like that speak to me and who I am. The Summer Party Massacre posters are me. They are totally me. The Summer Party Massacre movies are me. They're cheesy, they're exploitive, and yet they're not exploitive. They follow kind of like a thin line in between both. They're slasher, they're comedy, um, they're quirky, and they're some of my favorite films. I can sit down at any random time and watch Summer Party Massacre, any three of them, and I do mean the third one too, at any time. And even if I'd seen it just the day before, and I don't mind, I'm good. Medicine seven here. Just learned my screenwriter of Magnificent Seven wrote 10 to Midnight. I did not know that actually. So that I just learned too. Into it. But makes sense because 10 to Midnight is one of Bronson's best films, in my opinion. As you can see, like they got like the sets, the UHC sets there with the enamel pins and all that type of stuff. That's really cool. Um, and the posters, and the poster's a double-sided poster. Oh, it's two posters. People are gonna come in to my video thing looks like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So as you can see, the posters is double-sided here. So we have there's two posters with this one here. So you get the original artwork. And actually, this is one kick-ass new artwork here as well for this one. Animal pin set, like $95. That's a bit, but if you're into this movie, I can see you picking it up. Like I wouldn't pick up like $95. I love Slumber Party Massacre, but if it was $95, I definitely wouldn't grab it. It looks like they do actually for the slipcover. If they got if they got a slip art there, but the thing is, like at the end of the day, let's be honest, we can take the slip off. We don't have to have the slip. Although I don't mind I think the artwork for that is pretty good. Freaky, again, a newer, a newer, a newer one that I enjoy. There's Ouija here. War Games is coming out in December on 4K. I did not know that. People complain that Show Factory / Screen Factory are putting out way too many like 4K releases now. Like they're re-releasing things in 4K, but that's kind of the way things are going right now. 4K in a way. I'm not going to say it as a gimmick because I don't think that. But like just to kind of put a there's slipcovers sold things, and so Vinegar Syndrome like slipcover thing helped launch Vinegar Syndrome into a whole different stratosphere. 4K is that right now. 4K is where companies are going. And I had a comment on one of my videos, basically saying that they were worried that because Disney would be doing streaming, that would affect the push of 4K. And one of the reasons, like somebody had, I am a 4K upgrader. If the movie's good, I won't upgrade everything. It depends on the film, the 4K remaster, the sound. It's got better sound with it as well, because sound out. You want the audio and the picture to be good. You want it to be as cinema like as possible. But the thing is that when Blu-ray versus HD was going around, when that was like a war, Disney was one of the deciding factors because it was a war between two forms of physical media. And who Disney chose is what eventually won, because other companies jumped on wherever Disney went. Here, however, it's not so much streaming versus 4K. Streaming is, it's great for watching shows and TV and seeing something. But people that buy movies, still, will still watch their Shutter or their Disney Plus, but they'll still buy their movies. So it's not really effective when it comes to. It's not really gonna affect when it comes to that. Hey there, George. Welcome, man. But yeah, for me, like there's movies that I want to upgrade. There's movies that are just, and I've upgraded them like several times. Like I'll definitely pick up Carrie. Why? Because Carrie was a I haven't seen the 4K black. I would love to see it. I've got the older. I got the Canadian edition, the Seasons Grievings edition of Black Christmas, so I'm missing a couple of the features that are on the Screen Factory Blu-ray. Ironically, one of the features I'm missing is a Canadian TV show that was an hour-long show on the I think it was on Sci-Fi, that was about Black Christmas, that was done. I'm missing that, and I really want that because I remember watching it on TV when I was a kid. When I was older. Uh, we got Carrie here. I'm not quite sure if there's any thing new on Carrie, but I really love this movie. There's new auto commentary on Carrie. That's enough for me, right? If it's a good like transfer, and I look and I'm like, okay, for like Summer Party Massacre, like I never ever had the first one on Blu-ray, so upgrading that makes perfect sense. Because the posters are there as well. So my better half said that 18 by 24. So it's kind of the same as Universal Monsters ones we have. So we have Universal Monsters posters. Okay, so it's around a medium-sized poster. Are you sure? 18 by 24, guys. Look that up. That seems a bit off. My better half's usually like right on with this type of stuff. Coraline's getting a 4K upgrade. My better half loves this movie. I don't know if she'd upgrade to 4K. That would have to be like on sale for her. Though $23 for that one. If I see that for cheap at the store, then I would get it for her. Because that's one of hers. Coraline is one of her big movies. She's a huge fan of the author, so that makes sense. Company Wolves is coming out in 4K as well. That's the Neil Jordan one. I don't have any edition of that one, so that wouldn't be an upgrade. That would be like getting it for the first time. And I did get see the new Neil Jordan movie in theater. So I got to see Marlowe coming out this month. So check it out. It's actually not bad. Only 4K. It was good, bad, and ugly. I don't even have a 4K player. Just got it for the upgrade on the Blu-ray. Well, eventually, I think 4K is going to be so cheap, and it's just going to be the regular mic that next time you go to get a TV, whether you get your local Target or Walmart or Best Buy or someplace like that, 4K is pretty much probably going to be the only thing. 4K, and then you can get the 8Ks if you're. And people always ask me, is 8K is 4K going to be be enough? Is 8K discs going to be coming around? No, 8K discs aren't going to come around anytime in the near future, or I don't think in any future. 8K is more for when you think of like an 8K TV and 8K stuff, you're still going to have a 4K player. The 8K is mostly going to be for like streaming and for gaming, as opposed to like physical media discs. I'm sure somebody's going to try to make a go of it, but it's going to be if there's an 8K disc or player that comes out. Trust me, that's going to be more like of a laserdisc thing where it really doesn't doesn't go where you want it to go. That's my prediction. Game of Thrones 4K. I know it's nice. The driver, the original driver too. Got Rollerball coming out in 4K. Used Cars. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie coming out in 4K. I love these Super Sentai ones. I'm just a huge Super Sentai fan. Rest in peace, Jason David Frank. But just seeing some of the stuff that's coming out in the next little while, like look here, January you got Freaky and Dawn of the Dead. If you're a fan of Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, I am actually. I'll watch his Dawn of the Dead a lot more than I'm going to watch his Used Cars. Yeah, Carrie, War Games, like great releases. Coraline will look great in 4K. Like that's a good price too. Like $23 is a good price. Like that's 23 American dollars. India knows all about that. But the thing with that, I guess during Christmas, guys, some guys would be lonely. Let me just check something here really quickly for you. Is it wouldn't hurt to check Blue Underground as well. I would have loved to have checked the Vinegar Syndrome, but here's the thing: the oh, good idea about like TVD. Look at Blue Underground. Like they've done so many good 4Ks. We got stuff here like God Told Me To. Yes, it is 4 o'clock. So in 3 hours, I'm going to be going to the pub to watch it. Actually, Morocco versus Spain. So we watched two games last night. Brazil totally slaughtering, and we watched a really good game between Japan and God, who was the thing? Japan and another team. Like God, I'm blanking. Oh, Croatia. And it was really good. It was a really good game. Could have went to anyone. Japan could have easily gotten it. It was just came down to the penalty kicks. Yes, guys, I do watch FIFA. Uh, I watch the World Cup anyway. It's only every 4 years. No, no, no. Who would want Spain to win, George? You're losing credit here, man. Nobody wants Spain to win. We got the Maniac Cop 1, 2, and 3 all on 4K releases. There, Maniac Cop 3 is one that people wouldn't normally like be big on picking up and upgrading, but the commentary for Maniac Cop 3 is apparently really kick-ass. So it really makes, and it's a new commentary for the 4K. It makes it worth the upgrade. So great stuff when it comes to that. I got to say, I'm big on that. Nobody's cheering on Spain. They're like we're very close to Spain, but we're still not cheering them on. This is just to put it into perspective, guys. Now I won't spend too much time because I know people aren't here to hear me talk about the World Cup. This is the first time that Morocco has gotten this close to getting farther in the World Cup since 1986. This is a huge deal. So Morocco, much like Japan was a huge underground, like a kind of underdog when it comes to this. So to see them get this far is definitely is big. Like there'll be celebrating the streets. Like the streets were packed. We went out after the first win, and we just drove around, and it was fantastic. We got Two Evil Eyes here on 4K, great one. Dead and Buried with 3 different covers. Choose your cover for Dead and Buried. I like the classic. Like, that's nice too. I'm not sold on Final Countdown yet. I could have bought that one when they did their sale. They recently did a sale on Vinegar Syndrome, and I didn't end up getting 4Ks. I actually should have, but I got two Grindness releasing ones that I wanted. Vigilante is here. Fantastic film with Robert Forster and Fred Williamson. Daughters of Darkness here. New York Ripper, which I've got this in 4K. Why? Because I'm a huge New York Ripper fan. I love this movie. It's sleazy and a little bit off, but I like it. I think it's really cool. And I love the fact that look at how many we're going through here. Look at how many releases, how many 4K releases you've seen here. We got House by the Cemetery in 4K. I got that. That's my jam. Maniac here in 4K, and I already got the lenticular Blu-ray edition of some of these as well. By the way, Zombie in 4K, Belongs in 4K. These are really great. It has so many great releases here. And it is so cool to think that there's so much stuff has come out in 4K and is coming out in 4K. So my suggestion for those people that have yet to hit on that 4K train, that 4K bandwagon, and this is going to be a little bit controversial because some people don't collect 4K, some people still don't collect Blu-ray. Uh, to each their own when it comes to this. But at the end of the day, I think that 4K is the way that the companies are headed. You're going to see much, if you like collecting Vinegar Syndrome, much more Vinegar Syndrome stuff is going to be coming in 4K. If you like collecting Scream Factory, it's obvious Scream Factory is moving towards 4K, as is Severin for a lot of releases. Criterion has gone and moved things into 4K as well. So again, incredible stuff. I just want to make a short video today because I gotta go downstairs and get ready. We're going to be going in a couple hours to the pub to check out the game. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I'll be doing a longer video very, very soon. Hope you guys check out the World Cup. And by the way, when you do, cheer for Morocco. Go for the underdogs. Go for the underdogs. Anybody can go for like Spain or Brazil because they're normally expected to win. Let's see something different. My name is Aaron. This has been the Call to Cinema. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you soon here. Morocco for the win. Check out Slumber Party Massacre 1 and 2 double feature coming to 4K. Thank you. I take way too many cat pictures, but Lordy, she's so cute. Coming to Scream Factory in February. Pre-order is up now, and you will get not just the poster for the original Slumber Party Massacre, but also the poster for the second Slumber Party Massacre with their original poster art. So that's great. See you soon. Have a wonderful, fantastic day. And for me right now, I guess I'm sort of out of here.